407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war. Testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. Altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract.
How can I appeal to the American population and describe what it means to truly be an American? Well, our forefathers created this country so that men could live here and be equal. To be an American means that one is equal with everyone else, no matter his race or population or social status. But what else? Well, our forefathers also fought to keep this country and government alive, so Americans today must also do the same thing. We cannot let this country split and fall. We must protect its unity and keep the legend that our ancestors made alive. Letting them die in vain would be the worst possible thing that us, the American people, could do.
The world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. Rather, for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion.
American identity is something important to this country and worth mentioning. America is based upon freedom and equality for all. That is our identity, and we must fight to keep it alive and strong. Our government was made by our forefathers to protect the people and their rights and freedoms. The creators of our country always stood up for us in harsh and dangerous times, and they never gave up. By doing that, they created an identity that stands for devotion and endurance. Yes, although the rest of the world and many Americans will forget what I say here, they must never forget the actions and contributions of our ancestors. We must instill a sense of pride into our people and make sure they remember their American identity.
That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, but this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.